Just real quick announcement, if you are going to be at Toronto Pride this Sunday, June 28th, I will also be there. If you see me, come say hey, I would love to meet you. But yeah, otherwise, have a good Pride. Hello! So about a year ago, I posted a video that talked about straight pride and why that should not exist. That video, which I will link right there, still actually gets a lot of attention, and one of the common comments on it are calling me a heterophobe. So, in honor of Pride Month, where we challenge homophobia and the heteronormative society in which we live, I figured that we could talk about heterophobia and why that is not a thing. Hold on, I need to prepare myself for this. When people talk about heterophobia, they suggest that it's possible for LGBT people to be discriminatory towards straight people. They're saying that when we celebrate gay pride, or we talk openly about the fact that we're sexual minorities, or we challenge the constant tendency for people to assume that I have a girlfriend because I'm a guy, believing in heterophobia suggests that somehow these things impact how heterosexual people live their lives. I think it's important to recognize that the term heterophobia is actually an excuse for people who are actually homophobic, people who are actually quite uncomfortable with LGBT people, to continue to be homophobic. Heterophobia is a way for a homophobic person to avoid recognizing their privilege. Instead, it becomes about blaming LGBT people for attempting to get a heterosexual person to recognize and understand the privilege that they have. Saying that heterophobia is possible is saying that it's possible to disadvantage a privileged part of society. It's saying that if gay people tell you that you can't celebrate your straight identity by, say, having a straight pride parade because that is incredibly offensive, this somehow makes you lesser than, or that it's unfair to you. To take a pride parade, for example, to understand where it comes from, historically speaking, pride parades come from fighting for equality. It comes from a community being constantly told that their identities don't matter. That being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, genderqueer, asexual, just a sexual minority, it's being told that you don't deserve that identity, and you don't deserve to express that identity in a public space. Lives are lost fighting for that right. And so no, it is not heterophobic saying that you cannot host a party celebrating your straightness when you live in a society that automatically guarantees you an advantage for being innately attracted to exclusively the opposite sex. So then, let me give you an analogy. Saying that heterophobia is real is similar to saying that white racism is real. Yes, you can say negative things about white people. Yes, you can joke about white people. Yes, you can call white people out on their privilege in hopes that they recognize that privilege into the future. But how in any way can that be called racism? It can't. White racism cannot exist because of white privilege. So, heterophobia is very similar. It can't exist because of the automatic disadvantage that LGBT people face in society because of their identity. Just as a quick side note, you will also notice that people who advocate for white racism also will advocate for heterophobia, so, I mean, that's a thing that you should probably avoid. Maybe a little bit of an intense video today, but I feel as though this is a conversation that needs to happen, and I hope you feel that way too. But yeah, please comment down below, let me know, what do you think about heterophobia? Is it a real thing, or is it kind of a figment of our imagination? But yeah, I will talk to you all next week sometime, and until then, have a fantastic Pride Week. Bye guys, David out.